Well, staying with this story, let's bring in Yusuf Erim, Turkey analyst from TRT World. Yusuf, thank you for joining us on the programme this afternoon. Now, Erdogan promised to reveal the naked truth, but there's an overwhelming sense that he didn't do that. Very few new details came out of today's speech. Why was that the case?
Well, I think President Erdogan is still waiting for concrete evidence. And as the leader of the Republic of Turkey, it's not right for him to point fingers at the leadership in Riyadh and try to accuse people. He's specifically opened up his speech by saying we waited for evidence because we don't want to falsely accuse anybody. But the most important parts of his speech are actually the clues that he gave about what Turkey's going to do going forward. He specifically signaled that they're going to request extradition. He said this crime was committed in Istanbul and the perpetrators should stand trial in Istanbul. He also said, where's the body? Who's the local collaborator? Why was the investigation blocked? And who gave the orders? And he said that they are not going to rest until these questions have answers. So he's basically signaled that they're not going to stop. They're going to follow this to the end. And regardless, from the bottom to the top, whoever's part of this crime will be punished.
So, as you said there, many questions remain unanswered. But something else that stood out during that speech was Erdogan's statement that he trusts or he doesn't doubt the Saudi king's sincerity. But he didn't say the same thing about the Crown Prince. So what does that mean? Should we read into that?
Well, we can definitely read into that. Trusting the king and trusting the Crown Prince are very different. They're both individuals. The Crown Prince he's in the crosshairs of this investigation in the eyes of the international community. And there's a lot of, I shouldn't say evidence, but there are a lot of coincidences linking him right now, his top aide being part of the investigation and many other individuals that have close links to him. But like I said, President Erdogan, normally a very vocal and decisive man, has been very, very careful with this investigation not to point fingers until he has concrete evidence. He's let the evidence do the talking rather than politicians do the talking, which is one of the reasons why I personally think this investigation has been led very, very successfully.
So all eyes are on the Crown Prince, as you say. How could the fallout from the crisis have an impact on Mohammed bin Salman's reform drive, his bid to modernize the country?
I think his bid to modernize the country, his reform drive, should be the least of his worries. I think saving his political neck should be top priority right now, because when you look at the international public opinion against Mohammed bin Salman, it's like an avalanche coming directly at him. And he really needs to worry about saving his neck right now and his political survival as the de facto leader of Saudi Arabia. The international community is tired of his machinations of the boy king in Riyadh, and many people view him as now incapable of leading the country and calling for his replacement.
Well, Turkey says it has evidence that this was an assassination, but Erdogan didn't produce any of it during that speech today. So what's next? Is the ball in Riyadh's court right now?
Oh, the ball's definitely in Riyadh's court. I mean, President Erdogan has laid down detailed evidence. I'm sure the leaks will continue to come throughout the week and throughout next week. There'll probably be a lot more evidence leaks as there have been until now. And we can probably expect an indictment by the Turkish prosecutor probably in the month of November, where he starts naming perpetrators and naming charges. So we'll have a much clearer picture in the next week or two about what's going to happen going forward.
Okay, Yusuf Erim, Turkey analyst from TRT World, thank you once again for your time and appearing on the programme today.